Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between Chaemiko versus Colorful, this game taking place here on Echo Isle. We have Chaemiko spawning as the blue or dark blue human over here on the top left hand side of the map. Meanwhile, we have Colorful spawning as the red night elf. Night elf versus human in a 1v1 matchup. Let's go ahead and see how things will break down as this game does get underway. Chaemiko opening up with a barracks first. All right, so barracks first, followed by a farm, and it looks like it will be, well, some sort of tavern hero. And playing this classic style here on Echo Isle. Beastmaster, obviously one of the main choices. Fire Lord, if you want to try to go for aggression. A Dark Ranger can work occasionally if you are able to reach critical mass with those skeletal minions early on, but really interested to see what Chaemiko brings to this table in this particular fight. We are looking at, well, there's that barracks there. It is now going to be done. Footman already being trained, second farm, and now there's that altar of kings. And then most likely a footman will be heading off down to the south here to try and pick up someone from the tavern. Off on the other side of the map, we are going into a warden first. So a warden now making a bit of a comeback in that human versus night elf matchup, where the warden is able to really focus down peasants, since those units really have nowhere really to go. Human peasants are often, I feel, are the weakest for harassment. Night elf, yeah, you're able to hide those wisps in and out of that gold mine. Early pressure is difficult, and well, we all know the difficulties in trying to attack an undead base with that early Nerubian tower and all of those ghouls there ready to fight you at will. Coming down to the south here, Ancient of War ready to clear out this mercenary camp, getting it into position. Gonna go ahead and aggro right there and then uproot that tree. Oh, gonna purposely attack, let the units try and do a surround. Footman now trying to make its way over, and the Forest Troll Shadow Priest ends up getting picked up by Colorful. That lone footman footman in trouble, and it is neither of the heroes that I thought. It is gonna be an early Goblin Alchemist. All right, early Goblin Alchemist Militia already making their way out. Warden getting that Forest Troll Shadow Priest to perhaps put pressure on water elementals, but that is not what we're going to be looking at here. Damage already here. Goblin Tinker, is this strategy going to really pull off and get any real traction? That is the question here, as that Footman is now trying to run away from that Warden here. All right, we're looking at a little bit of damage here as the Militia are already running on inside. Ancients of War are trying to be established, and Pocket Factory now getting into position. Early Pocket Factory, early pressure, multiple peasants, and what is going to end up going down here as those peasants are just trying to get in some, well, building done here. Pocket Factory also cranking out goblins, but they're actually going after the Altar of Elders, not in a very aggressive position whatsoever, as we are now going into scout towers. Forest Troll Shadow Priest putting in all of that pressure, trying to take down some of those footmen. Warden does have still a good amount of mana as more and more towers are getting under construction. All right, auto repair underway, trying to repair all of these units as a new Clockwork Pocket Factory already out onto the top here. Major damage coming back across here. Peasants are repairing the Pocket Factory here. They are attempting to repair the Pocket Factory and also repair the Scout Tower. This Arcane Tower looks like it will end up getting taken down, and Chaemiko's Tower Rush may end up falling apart before it even really gets going. All right, continuing this pressure here once more. More repairs are underway. Guard tower is nearly done here. And low hit point archer able to hide in the back here, as one guard tower is going to end up becoming completed. A new one trying to be built here. There's guard tower there, and now, well, in comes that damage. Guard tower going after some of the archers. Some of those other remaining units perhaps going to be able to put down pressure onto that Ancient of War in the back, as the Goblin Tinker still absorbing quite a bit of damage. New Footman out here onto the battlefield, trying to stop this Ancient of War before it gets started, as the guard tower should be able to pelt down this Ancient of War without any real problems at all. More damage coming back across. Guard tower trying to be repaired here. More and more militia are now making their way over guard tower, putting in pressure on the Forest Troll Shadow Priest, as that backs up right there. Forest Troll Shadow Strike now onto the Footman. Footman out trying to retreat back, and well, I do not believe Colorful was expecting this at all. Guard towers are just still on auto repair here once more, as just a massive repairing coming across here. More and more repairs still getting underway. Guard tower number 2 is about to be completed. Meanwhile, the Tinker is taking a lot of damage from all of those archers, as we're looking at more and more pressure. All right, right, Warden could be in a little bit of trouble. Massive repairs onto that guard tower there. Guard tower hovering around 20 damage. It's going to end up getting taken down, but there are still 2 additional guard towers. Well, 1 additional guard tower trying to be upgraded. All right, more repairs are underway. That guard tower is going to end up getting taken down. Archers are now getting taken down as well. Footmen could end up falling. Warden can get up to level 2 as there is still some healing getting underway. Goblin Tinker now trying to retreat back. More repairs are here. What is going on with all of these peasants as the Goblin Tinker now tries to retreat away down to 49 hit points? Forest Troll, Shadow Strike should be able to get in some damage here, but still needs a little bit more time. Guard Tower still putting in the pressure. Goblin Tinker still sitting at level 1. No, he gets taken down, and the Warden is now at level 2. Without the Warden, this entire game, without the Goblin Tinker, it may all fall completely flat, and that is the game there. Colorful taking down Chaemiko in game number 1 here. All of you guys, stay tuned for another game. All right. Hello and welcome to another game between Chaemiko and Colorful. For all of you guys who made it this far in the video, hopefully you did not fast forward. Try to put a little bit of an anti-spoiler in game number 1. If you saw the length of that video, well, you may have, if it was up on its own, you may have thought to yourself, oh, okay, it's a tower rush, I know how it's going to end. And well, may have just completely skipped it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As we now move on into game number 2, gonna go ahead and speed things up into that 4 times speed, get into that 2-minute mark in this game. We are getting an Ultra of Kings down, we are getting an Ultra of Elders down, Keeper of the Grove going up against an Archmage. Classic matchup, as well as Ancient of War positioning itself to clear out this Goblin Merchant shop. All right, already getting close to that 2-minute mark as the units will be popping on out here in just a moment. Here we are, Archmage is already out on the battlefield. Keeper of the Grove a split second behind as we're looking at clearing out this 5-4-3 creep camp. Ancient of War doing its thing, fighting in the war, able to absorb a large amount of damage. Meanwhile, this 4-3-2 creep camp will almost give the Archmage level 2. Just needs another green creep camp to try and figure things out. All right, Water Elemental ends up getting taken down, so unable to save that Water Elemental. Excuse me for tapping the mic. Unable to save that Water Elemental there as the Archmage now makes its rounds over to try and clear out this Kobold Taskmaster creep camp that does have a large number of level 1 creeps. Militia going straight after that Kobold Geomancer. It is ranged, it has high damage, but has medium armor, so should fall relatively fast. Level 2 now on that Archmage. Kobold Taskmaster, the next easy target right there, as it does give a big damage bonus to all of those surrounding units. Militia now looking to back away. Good micro coming in from Chaemiko to save some of those lower hit point militia. All right, coming back around, Keeper of the Grove looking to clear up, and is sitting on level 2 already. A couple of treants there, another ring of protection +3. So it looks as though Colorful and Chaemiko having very similar items out of the gate. Only difference is, well, the Archmage has not gone shopping as of yet. One more final shot. Nope. Footman actually finding that final shot right there. Footman hidden amongst the trees. Difficult to spot. As we're looking at Water Elementals now, well, putting pressure on the Forest Troll Berserkers here. We are still perhaps going to get level 3 on that Archmage here in just a moment. Water Elemental absorbing quite a bit of damage, not needing to go after that Sasquatch. Sasquatch 24 to 27 damage. Low hit point Footman purposely just rotating the damage on the units, so to speak, as the Archmage wants to make sure that that Scroll of Regeneration only heals more units than just that lone one. However, no Arcane Vault as of yet. Chaemiko setting up the expansion here, could be placing down a Blacksmith and an Arcane Vault down over here, as well as the Archmage now looks to put on pressure with +14 damage. That Archmage is going to be dealing quite large amounts of damage indeed, as that Archmage is with that +14 damage nearly, well, almost critical striking or 50% damage bonus on the low end. Here we are continuing to put in more damage here. Archers trying to go after some of those low hit point footmen, but an easy entangle gonna make short work out of that footman right there, as the Keeper of the Grove opted for level 2 entangle first, and now gonna be able to finish off some of these earlier footmen with relative ease. Keeper of the Grove, however, does have Cloak of Shadows, wants to hide. Archmage does not have any sort of dust of appearance will not be able to reveal these units. Another entangle comes across, and with that, Chaemiko going to be able to easily take down another water elemental here. Keeper of the Grove halfway up to level 3 now, as the Archmage looks to back away. An expansion has already been established, and it's going to slowly make the trek over here to this gold mine.
Players' forces are under attack.
Arcane Vault is now being established. Tech to Tier 2 is now done. Tech to Tier 2, or Tech to Tier 2 has now started. Colorful Tech to Tier 2 nearly done. As, well, the expansion is just a little bit later, but that Tech to Tier 2 might be very, very significant indeed if he's able to pick up a Tavern Hero, perhaps a Panda, to put down early pressure on all of these footmen. Tree of Life now trying to retreat back, does have a good amount of health to try and regenerate. Wisp are also coming over here. One footman being left behind, as the Keeper of the Grove may continue to try and get in some additional entangles off on these units. Keeper of the Grove getting, well, very, very close to level 4 already. A little bit of bonus damage coming back around as the archers are trying to find ways to get that last bit of damage onto that footman. Footman, I do believe that was denied right there, as the Keeper of the Grove still stays at the same amount of experience. Coming back around, entangling of that gold mine has just now started. Archers still shadow melding, causing a little bit of traffic here. Keeper of the Grove coming back out onto the battlefield and is going to get in another entangle on these units. All right, there's some damage onto the Archmage. Turning back around, Keeper of the Grove could try and finish off some of these, that footman once more. That water elemental trying to stop this one, well, stop the entangling of this gold mine. More entangles coming through, and that level 2 entangle is doing quite a bit of damage here, as we are looking at low hit point footman. One more footman is shot, gonna get taken down, as the Keeper of the Grove just now shy of that next level. All right, more damage coming through. Archer able to get in some additional Moonwell juice, stay alive temporarily, as that footman duo now trying to retreat back once again. Naga Sea Witch out onto the battlefield, trying to rack up damage onto some, well, escaping units once more, as the, well, cold arrows not enough, as the, well, Naga Sea Witch did not have boots of speed. Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 4 now, level 2 entangle most likely, or level 2 treants, and most likely Keeper of the Grove also buying some clarity potions, as well as he's been using entangle rather aggressively throughout this matchup. All right, Naga Sea Witch gonna look to back away here. This is a lot of archers and archers only. We do see the Hunter's Hall tech to tier 3, but I don't see any Ancients of Lore, as, nope, take it back, Ancients of Lore being built down to the south. All right, let's take a look at the human base here. There's that Blacksmith, Arcane Vault, Chaemiko doing a very, very classic build here. Meanwhile, we are at tier 2, and we are going into a Panda as well. So the Panda coming in actually from Chaemiko instead of the Night Elf side. Panda wants to, well, get in some Breath of Fires across multiple units, rack up damage onto those archers, as those archers are now just trying to retreat back. Very aggressive tech to tier, or tech to tier 3, and the Ancients of Lore are trying to crank out units now, but it's going to be a little bit of time before the Dryads are able to come out to play and abolish down these water elementals. Panda still putting in pressure here, as, well, this is a wide sprawling city coming in from Colorful, building back, but his main base is actually very, very sparse, as we're looking at buildings pretty much all across the the northeast side of the map. Coming back around here, Water Monster's looking to finish off some more units. Keeper of the Grove is going to be able to finish off that footman. It looks like it will be able to do exactly that. Dryads waiting for that abolish magic to complete, as more Dryads are now making their way back out here onto the battlefield. All right, there's a little bit of damage coming back across here. Archmage trying to chase after this Naga Sea Witch, getting caught up behind a sheep who is playing in the water. I believe sheep are not known to be the brightest of animals, and, well, maybe it doesn't realize that it can drown in water. Coming back down to the south here, trying to put in more pressure onto that Naga Sea Witch. Naga Sea Witch down to 164. Panda right in front, and it's going to cause a little bit of problems here. Naga Sea Witch down to 92 damage. One attack from the Panda, followed by, well, not even one attack from the Panda. One more final shot. Breath of Fire finishes it off, taking down that level 1 Naga Sea Witch, but at the cost of a footman, as that footman will get taken out as well. Archmage continuing to, well, fire some fireballs back at that Keeper of the Grove. Panda getting in some damage, as he's trying to protect that low hit point footman from, well, near certain death because of an entangle. Arcane Tower trying to hide under that cover there, as we are now going into workshops, production for mortar teams. That is a lot of dryads out here onto the battlefield. Riflemen need to be trained up pretty aggressively as well, as priests are out here, and now we see a quick entangle there, a quick dispel magic, making sure that that doesn't really get started as the Archmage tries to battle it up against the Keeper of the Grove and some of those other Dryads there. All right, more damage coming back on through. Rifleman wants to get in some shots as the Dryads are now looking to prance back home. A little bit of a defensive maneuver here as Chaemiko goes into low upkeep. All right, low upkeep production, level 1 weapon upgrades, level 1 weapon upgrades, both for melee and range, about to be had. Archers continuing to retreat back, and we are looking to get a bit of reprieve in the direct confrontation as Chaemiko now transitions into a bit of creeping. Archmage is sitting at level 3, Colorful sitting at level 4 on his Keeper of the Grove, getting closer to level 5. The Naga Sea Witch was taken down and is now currently, I believe, getting some experience of her own, as we are looking at the Dryads and the Archers trying to clear up this, well, relatively higher end of the orange creep camp. Dire Frostwolf quickly going to get taken down. Level 2 now on the Naga Sea Witch. Sobi Mass on the Naga Sea Witch may be given to the Keeper of the Grove, as we've been seeing so much damage being racked up here. All right. Orb of Venom also on that Keeper of the Grove. Damage can rack up very quickly with those Orbs of Venom. If you split your attacks across multiple targets, the damage over time, well, does have a bigger play as more time progresses. Keeper of the Grove still sitting at 4. Naga Sea Witch still sitting at 2, as the Riflemen, well, Spellbreakers, Priest, Sorceress, Mortar Team, Army composition of Chaemiko now on the move as well. Going after a Granite Golem in that frontline spot. That's actually a very dangerous position here, and Chaemiko may actually be punished for this here. All right, Dire Frostwolf, level 3 now on the Brewmaster. More damage coming on through. Another Footman getting taken down there. There goes that other Dire Frostwolf, but the Night Elf army is now currently sitting inside the base, ready to put on pressure. Keeper of the Grove also fighting alongside some Druids of the Claw. There's some roar, some bonus damage, some rejuvenation as the battle is raging on. So Granite Golem still takes a licking, but keeps on ticking, as we are looking at Endurance Aura, perhaps a Scroll of Town Portal to try and retreat back, or are we going to see the run back home? All right, Scroll of Town Portal now getting back underway. Spellbreakers are trying to squeeze on through. Is there going to be enough here? There is no Dispel Magic, as the Mortar team's able to push back this attack there and, well, take down some of these units. Breath of Fire across some multiple units. Again, Treants could end up getting taken down, but the Panda really needs to put pressure onto some of these other units as well. Some of those other units as well. Dryads unaffected by the Breath of Fire. The Bears, if they're, or the Druids of the Claw in Druid form, would actually take large amounts of damage, as we're looking at Colorful walking around in a Druid form to try and maximize the amount of mana on these Druids of the Claw. The downside, though, is going to be that they will take quite a bit of bonus damage as well from those Spellbreakers if there are a good number in that front line. Coming back down to the south here, there's the Endurance Aura, there's that Panda, level 3. All right, Sorceress, Spellbreakers now getting ready to move off to the side once again. Priest trying to retreat back. Priest quickly gets sniped down here. Dual Arcane Sanctums, still not enough to try to crank out units, as Colorful doing a great job, up to 80 over 80 supply, a very large army now pushing in with that pressure. Chaemiko is in a big bout of trouble here, as the Druids of the Claw are able to, well, just simply rip on through. Low hit point or low mana Druid of the Claw. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire across multiple units, taking a little bit of that damage over time, but we see Fairy Dragons are in position as well. Mortar Dream trying to, well, launch in some of that damage as well, but still unable to do so, and we are just looking at Colorful completely owning this battle here with the Fairy Dragons up top, causing mana flare issues. Mortar teams, however, finally getting in some good shots on the backside here. Staff of Preservation saving the Bears, though, and I believe Colorful is able to trade efficiently here, but there are a handful of Bears that could end up getting taken down. Breath of Fire across some of those Bears. Another Bear off to the north, able to be saved at 55 hit points. A Breath of Fire or a random attack from the Archmage may have been able to push it over the edge. Coming back home, you see a lot of rejuvenation, a lot of licking of the wounds of Colorful. There was a couple of Staff of Preservation in that fight as well, saving a low hit point Bear, and that is a situation that well, many night elf that can be frustrating when trying to fight against a night elf with one, if not two, staffs of preservation. After dealing almost 900 points of damage, to see your experience just disappear before your eyes as it gets teleported back home. All right, more damage coming back on through here. As we're looking at Granite Golem, Dire Frostwolf, all of these units, um, and then taking down Chaemiko, are going to be grabbing some very, very powerful items here. Brewmaster will be able to get to level 4 as he's trying to finish off this last Dire Frostwolf. There seems to be enough distance. Granite Golem here going to get taken down as well. There's Kagar's Pipe of Insight, the least useful item, as well. Level 2 Brilliance Aura has already been teched. All right, Unholy Aura or some sort of damage bonus is perhaps what Chaemiko was hoping for. Didn't get the lucky break there at all, and that will simply just be sold for some additional gold, and hopefully he'll be able to make a little bit of a better stand, as Chaemiko is still behind in the overall supply count. Meanwhile, in terms of hero level, we have a level 5 and a level 3 going up against a level 4 and a level 4. That is, well, that's important to take note of, as we're looking at the bears and dryads now getting ready to push on in. Hippogriffs are also in play as well to try and deal with any of those flying machines. Quick dispel magic there as the priest now trying to retreat back. All right, so much to be had. Right, sorceresses, a priest able to move on quickly. Where are the units perhaps going to try and go, as the bears are once more just trying to dive on in here? Straight up battle inside Chaemiko's base, as the, well, Keeper of the Grove and Nagasi are trying to put in pressure. Units teleporting back in. Fork Lightning, Keeper of the Grove, says, you know what, I don't need to be here in this fight, and I've gotten a little bit of experience once more. But same can be said of Chaemiko and his nearly level 5, nearly level 5 Panda, or getting the closer to level 5 Panda. Pipe of Insight was sold. Archmage now trying to run around here, where Panda is still figuring out what to do exactly next. Archmage held on to the Claws of Attack +5. Panda looking to get in some additional creeping on some of these last remainder creep camps, perhaps get that much closer to level 5 and be able to push over the edge at the start of the next battle. Panda sitting at 4.8 still, but only needs 76 more experience to get to level 5. Now, at this stage, Colorful is breaking into high upkeep. He is getting low on gold in his main gold mine here. About, what, 3.5 minutes of mining left, 4 minutes of mining down over here by Chaemiko. Now, with this really large push, this forces Colorful to be in a situation where he has to trade effectively. If he's not trading effectively, he's actually, if he's just even trading evenly, he's actually falling further behind, as his opponent is not getting taxed or only getting taxed 30% as opposed to 60%. That is, in fact, a very, very big deal, as the Nagasi Witch now making its way back over. All right. Fairy Dragons now making their way in. Here's a bit of a fight. Flying Machine's going to try and engage against the Hippogriffs. Hippogriffs and Fairy Dragons are now making their way back over. Spellbreaker easily getting taken down here, as the Mana Flare causing problems for the Sorceresses and the Priest to try and, well, be able to get any bit of damage there. There's a, well, Breath of Fire trying to take down multiple units, but a Mana Flare was, in fact, able to cause more problems, as Colorful is doing a great job managing these Mana Flares here. Panda does get up to level 5. There's another Breath of Fire, as the damage is raging on through. The Panda needs to be healed pretty aggressively. Does have a scroll of healing for himself, and may be able to use a Breath of Fire. There's a Fork Lightning Panda getting a Drunken Haze Breath of Fire across multiple units. Mortar teams are actually blasting away. 66 supply compared to 85. Damage is starting to reach on through, but Keeper of the Grove with Tranquility may be able to keep these units alive and well for a very, very long amount of time. Archmage being forced to retreat back. Panda with Breath of Fire not able to overcome the healing power of Colorful, and Colorful looks to be going strong still. All right. Colorful sitting on level 6 on that Keeper of the Grove with Tranquility, both being able to be used in and out of combat, is going to be an important factor. All right, level 5 now on the Panda with Invisibility. Level 4 on the Archmage. Level 5 Panda with Invisibility. Is it enough to get a Drunken Haze and Breath of Fire across all of these units straight at the start and then perhaps tip things in their favor, or is Colorful's army just far too much? All right, massive dryads are right here. Mortar teams could easily take care of that. You can see the fragment, or you can see the breath of fire, and all of those shards trying to come in and rain down damage. Keeper of the Groves, Tranquility already back online, giving in a large amount of healing, as well. Sea Witch is still trying to put pressure off on the other side. Brewmaster trying to retreat back still. Flying Machine's not quite sure where to go next, as the main base could end up getting taken down. All right, Druids of the Claw should really be in that frontline spot. Dryads getting absolutely pummeled, as the mortar teams are pretty much going unchallenged. But it doesn't look like the mortar teams, even with all of their free raining fire, are going to be able to overcome this supply disadvantage. 93 supply compared to 57. All you need is a little bit of peace and tranquility from that Keeper of the Grove, and well, you can sit inside mortar team shards and still stay alive, or at least that's what we saw in this match here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.